like to call to order the 2024 annual meeting of the San Clemente Island Goat Breeders Association. We're going to do a quick roll call as to who is here, and you can unmute for this particular section of the meeting. Let's see. Well, let's start with Laurel. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Laurel Sherry. I'm in California. I have a small herd of San Clemente Island goats, and I am on the board, and I'm just assuming membership chair, and that's it.
Thank you, Laurel. Let's see, as I go down the list. Stephen, do you want to introduce yourself?
Nope.
Please.
Hi, my name's Stephen Howell, on the archive board, chair. We're out of Virginia, and we've got a herd of about 30 right now. So, and I'm Sarah Joy's lesser half.
Thanks. All right. Let's see, who is next? To go down. Christy, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Christy Phillips. My farm is East Richwoods Farm. We're in north central Arkansas. I am going to call myself a breeder because I do own a buck and a doe that could have kids, but they haven't yet because I just got them. I am your registry committee chair recently, so any registry problems, questions, call me, and that's it.
Thank you, Christy. Victoria, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Victoria Olson. Our farm name is Caval Acres. We're in North Carolina now. We have a herd of 20, and I am the chair for the Youth Services Committee.
Thank you. And then we have, let's see, as I look here, Laura, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, I'm Laura Farrell, and I'm in Virginia, and my farm is Temple Hill Farm. I have a very small herd, and a previous board member and host of the annual Palooza. So very glad to be here. I wish I could get here more often.
Yay! Wendy? Oh, I'm not hearing her. Maybe she needs to turn the volume. Can you try turning your volume up, Wendy?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you are.
Okay.
My
name's Wendy. My name's Wendy Palmer, and we are Imperial Farm over here in Georgia. And we have a small herd of San Clemente Islands that we are breeding.
Yay! Thank you, Wendy. Aaron?
Hi, Aaron By, Bramblewood Farm in Minnesota. And we're really close to the Wisconsin-Minnesota border, so we kind of straddle the area. We're lifetime members, and we have 8 San Clementes now. So 6 of them being does, 1 is a wether, and 1 is a buck.
Perfect. And I see last we have Marie Brown. Maybe. Marie, you there? Okay. Well, I'll introduce Marie, and hopefully she'll pop back on. Marie and Alan are lifetime members in Wisconsin with a small Tepper herd, and Marie is our fundraising chair and all-around baseball mom, so she's probably at a baseball game. So, all right. things. Is anybody else seeing the slides move, or is it still on the annual meeting slide?
It's on the welcome slide.
Yeah. Laura, it is on the welcome? Okay, so it's just mine that's not moving. Okay, perfect. I was going to be like, Laura, is your buck on the screen or no? Okay, so I'd like to welcome everyone to our 4th annual meeting. Today we will review the past year and look to the future. We'll celebrate our accomplishments and discuss how to build upon our success to continue onward and upward towards our goal of community building and a sustainable population of San Clemente Island goats in perpetuity. The San Clemente Island Breeders Association idea arose from our community Facebook group. It became evident an organization was needed to unify the stewards and create a roadmap to propel the breed forward. This step came to fruition 5 years ago when 5 breeders met to formulate bylaws and lay out the foundation for our organization. We continue to build upon that foundation to continue strengthening our association, providing better support, education, and benefits to our members, and ensuring San Clemente Island goats have a bright future. Today we will hear from our dedicated volunteers who give us their time to benefit the association, the breeder community, and ultimately the breed. Listen carefully to learn and contemplate how you can contribute to the future. I'd like to call upon our board and committee chairs to present their committee's accomplishments during the past year and their goals for the next. So the first thing, Treasurer Terry couldn't be with us today, but this is his, that should say 2023. Sorry, I just noticed the typo. This is the financial $1,641. Web hosting diversity miscellaneous financial statement from that was about 2023. The bank fee expenses were $720. We ended the year with about 700 of that was being held for our online registry database. So next we have Stephen, who is our archives chair, and this will be available. And we brought in 120.
So great. And set up a new digital filtering system for SGI. My tongue doesn't want to work. SCIGBA history. The goals are continuing to connect information about the breed, document member herds, and celebrating the 150th anniversary of the breed. I actually got lucky. I'm still trying to find the photos, but when I was stationed in the Navy out in San Diego, I was actually able to go out to the island a couple times. So at some point, if I could find the photos, you got to remember this is 30 years ago, I'll be able to get them uploaded and put onto the websites.
Thank you. Communication. If you can note from the photo, we don't have a communications chair. So this could be you if you're interested in volunteering. I will be honest, the past year was not our best for the communications committee. Our volunteer had unexpected health problems and others scrambled to fill in where possible. Though we are still looking for a communications chair, we formulated a new plan to better facilitate communications moving forward. The first thing we're doing, and you saw this in May, we're going to move to sort of mini monthly newsletters so that information gets out more quickly. We're working on creating a style guide for the association, which includes logo usage. We're revamping the website and to include a members only section. And that section will include logos, templates for members to use in their marketing. And we're also, to help facilitate it since we don't have a chair, we're going to be relying on other committees to do more input for social media and memes and stuff in the newsletters. So, if you don't already, I ask everyone to follow us on social media, share our posts to help promote the breed, and make sure you're signed up for the association newsletter or mailing list. Next, we have Marie Brown, our fundraising chair. Marie?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I'm Marie Brown, and I just wanted to thank everybody for the last year who had worked on extra fundraising. We had $150 from some really cool merchandise sales for the Felicity Miracle Project. There's a bunch of ladies who worked tirelessly at that, and I can't thank you guys enough. There's some really cool merch that came out with that. This year we are looking to add, thank you, Sarah. We are looking to do 2 merch launches, one in June and another one in October during Goattober. We're going to have a couple new designs drop. Sorry. One of our, we're going to be working with the youth members this year and a lot of new 4-H kids. So with Victoria this year, we're going to work together getting a youth member design t-shirt. That'll be, so one of our youth members will design that. It'll be an exclusive just from our youth. This year we're also going to look to grants and try to reach more non-San Clemente Island goat owners. We're going to reach out with the livestock conservation to work with them a little bit more to broaden our range. And this year we are also getting our calendar up and going. So it's been a little bit of a long process, but it'll drop this fall. So, and I think that's all on my end.
Thank you, Marie, so much.
Thank you.
As a side note, I just love the photos of Marie's children. They're so adorable. They're the best models of San Clemente clothing.
That is Marshall with our very first pair, and that is actually my hoodie that he stole and still to this day steals. So he just adores it.
Love it. Next up is the Genetics Committee. Our chair is Liz Shires, who isn't here today, but I'll be honest, this is my favorite committee because I'm like a genetics nerd, and the work this committee is doing and its future potential is just mind-blowing to me. The Genetics Committee has had a busy year. They've been focused on 2 main projects, the Felicity Miracles and the expansion of our line preservation projects. Felicity is the last known living 100% New Hampshire line San Clemente goat. At 9 years old, she's in good health but unable to carry kids to full term due to recent developed uterine problems. After last year's devastating loss of 2 genetically significant New Hampshire line bucks, the San Clemente Island Goat Breeders Association is taking extraordinary steps to preserve her unique genetic makeup. The Genetics Committee, in conjunction with fertility expert veterinarian Rachel Gately, has developed a plan to ensure her genetics remain available to the SCI goat population. Felicity will undergo superovulation followed by laparoscopic artificial insemination using genetically valuable SCI goat semen donated by the Smithsonian Conservation Biology Institute from a renowned 100% New Hampshire line buck who is now deceased. The Smithsonian is so excited about this project that they are donating this semen to us. Dr. Gately will then perform a procedure called an embryo flush, where all of the embryos are flushed from her system. Some of the embryos will be immediately transferred to 2 qualified The remaining embryos will be frozen and stored in the SCIGBA's genetic bank at Smart Repro. I'm happy to report that thanks to a major donation, we'll be able to proceed with the Felicity Miracles project this year. The line preservation projects are co-ops of breeders working together to preserve the limbs of their kids under Dr. Gately's expertise in lines. This year, we expanded to include the Plymouth line in the effort. Currently, 4 of the 7 San Clemente Island lines are actively being preserved. The goal is to set up co-ops for the final 3 lines within the year. This past year, the association has been researching moving our DNA testing to a new lab, Neogen. Neogen is the world's largest genome sequencer testing options and answers to our genetic questions. In June, the board will be releasing a presentation on this potential move. Please keep an eye out. Last, the committee continues to work on building our genetic bank. This upcoming year, they will work to provide better education on the resources available to our breeders and to identify goats whose genetic material is essential to preserve in case of future disasters. I will also add a plug that knowledgeable volunteers are needed. Unlike many of our other volunteer positions where passion is the primary requirement, people with specific skills are needed to help further the work of the genetics committee. If you're knowledgeable in genetics, researching scientific journals, or have grant writing skills, please consider giving your time to this committee. Before I continue, Laurel, you're a member of this committee. Is there anything else you wanted to add? You can shake yes or no or unmute.
Yeah, well, actually, we're not in touch with Rachel Gately at all. She was only very briefly wanted to do the project, but then fell out of communication. So we do not have a veterinarian or facility lined up at all. We're starting over, basically. So we have, we did all that work last year, and we actually had lined up 3 different vets, and they all fell through, and then we didn't have any funding. So so now we have funding, and now we don't have any of the other stuff. So we're starting over, literally, and it's very exciting. It needs to be done, but you know, just for reality's sake, we're starting over, and we really need more help.
So if anybody's interested, please let us know.
Yeah, we have the goat, we have money, and now we need a couple more surrogate does, and we need somebody to help me with all of the logistics, because it is extensive logistics.
Yes, it definitely is. So thank you so much, Laurel.
Yep.
Next, marketing. Our marketing chair is Brandy Jo Anderson. This past year, the marketing committee served primarily as support staff to our other committees with advice and help on the promotion of their projects. In the coming year, they will be shifting to focus on promoting the use of San Clemente Island goats and enabling our members to promote their herds and farms better. They will be relaunching the Complete Capra project, Tip to Tail, which promotes and educates on the various uses of this multi-purpose breed. Each month in 2025, they'll be highlighting a different use. We are also working to create a database to collect statistical information in order to create a black and white record of information for marketing purposes. We'll be asking breeders to help us track birth weights, growth rates, milk and processing stats, and more. I hope we can count on each of you to help us with this endeavor. For SCIGBA members, they will be working on the creation of a marketing kit, including press releases, event booth templates, and customizable Canva templates. Next, we have Laurel, our brand new membership chair.
Hi, it's me again. Yeah, I turned over the registry coordinator job to Christy. So glad to have her. She is like excellent and perfect for the job, and I'm telling you, she is a rare commodity, and I really appreciate her. So now that she's taking that on, I was kind of going, well, I think we need a membership here because we really need to keep track of who the members are. We need to communicate, directly to the members. And so I thought I should do that. And so I'm starting after this meeting. So you'll be hearing more from me on membership. We want to double the number of members that joined last year, which was 13. We really need a lot more, so we need a lot more. We need to make known the benefits and really encourage membership.
Thank you, Laurel.
Yep.
Well, Laurel started it, but next we have the registry committee. And as Laurel mentioned, she recently stepped down, and I would be remiss if we didn't recognize Laurel and thank her for the hours she dedicated to building our registry, which is the only registry owned by and accessible to the SCI breeders. So thank you so much, Laurel. Your time has really been appreciated. You've taken the breed so far with, this information, and we appreciate it. And so I'd like to introduce Christy, our new registry chair. Christy?
Hi, everybody. That was quite an introduction. I wasn't expecting that. But I will jump right into the numbers. I decided it would be a good idea to look back not just at this past year's numbers, but our first year's numbers when I wasn't even aware that SCIs existed. So you'll see during the first year we had 55 new registrations and 29 transfers of ownership. Compare that to our second year, we almost doubled that with 94 new registrations and 52 transfers. So that's super encouraging to me. Obviously, we need to desperately get those numbers up, but for starting from scratch, I think we should be really proud of that. So to put those SCI goat numbers into perspective, I was just curious and I looked up, okay, how many total goats are there in the U.S.? And there are around 2.5 million goats in the U.S. On the other hand, the total number I've heard floating around on SCIs is something like 1,700. I mean, you can give or take 1,000 and it's still nothing compared to all the goats out there. But the point with that is that I know that SCIs can fill the needs that people have, for raising goats in some way or another. So we can get goats in the hands of people, but we've got to count them. We've got to get them registered. It's so important. Each year, the Livestock Conservancy requests registration data from the breed associations, and they only use registered animals because those animals have documented pedigrees. They know this is a legitimate SCI goat. So those numbers reflect the active breeding populations in a given year and indicates the status of the breed. So we really need to get those numbers up to that 200, which is what I left the goal sitting at from last year's goal, to get those off that critically endangered list and up into the threatened status. And I think we can do that. We just have to start filling out the paperwork. We're smoothing out the registration process, and the newly and loosely formed mentorship program we've started, I think is going to really help to teach new owners and breeders and even some of the older breeders how the registrations are done and what their responsibility is in the process going forward. Because yes, we can always get a mentor to help you do your paperwork, but we want the breeders to learn to do the paperwork and to teach the people they sell to do the paperwork. So that is our goal. The upcoming online herd book is really going to help a lot, I think, because having access to all the information about the goats that are registered and the owners is going to simplify things a lot with buying and selling and filling out paperwork. So in conclusion, while I am brand new to this SCI world, just like what last fall is the first time I'd ever heard of them, this is not, registrations are not new to me. I've been registering goats for 16 years, I believe. So not only that, but I've seen other registries, particularly the Kune Kune registry, start from scratch and do amazing things and bring a breed out of the endangered list. And so I have full confidence that if we keep pushing through these first few years, that we're going to start seeing some much bigger jumps in our registry numbers. So if anybody needs help with registration, hit me up.
Thank you so much, Christy. I'm excited. I mean, we're halfway there to that 200, 2-3 years, and we're like over, no more critically endangered. Now we're just threatened. Woohoo! Next we have Victoria and the Youth Services Committee.
Hi, everyone. So last year with us just starting the youth services, it was more just kind of brainstorming and figure out how we can get the youth services involved in the Breeders Association. And so this year, looking forward, the plans are to apply for a micro grant from the Livestock Conservancy to create a heritage goat judge training. We're still kind of working out kinks, but we've started pretty much putting it on paper on how we're going to accomplish getting the micro grant, hopefully. And then also this year, we're working with Laura from Temple Hill Farm to try to put on our very first San Clemente Island goat show at Goatapalooza. There's going to be more information to come on that. We're still kind of working out some kinks to it, but we're really excited. It's going to be a showmanship show for the first time, probably a couple different classes, so we can get the new people out there and just have fun and try to develop some sort of showing process with these guys. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was there was a lot of positive feedback from the sheep show in Maryland. And I have been talking with Sarah about possibly starting something for the San Clemente Island goats to get them in the hands of youth. I think that we're doing a great job promoting the breed with adults, but another way that we can get these guys marketable is to get them in the hands of youth, to get them into 4-H shows and FFA, and just kind of build upon how we're marketing them. And so one of the things that we were talking about is the potential for a discount goat program or donating the goat with obvious requirements from the youth and making sure that they're following through on their part of it, and more of a mentorship program as well from longtime breeders to the youth trying to get into the breed. So if there is anybody who, and we can have this conversation also on the Breeders Association page, but to just provide feedback on if that's something that you might be interested in. We are also going to be talking about it on our happy hour on June 19th at 7 p.m. So if you want to tune in and talk about how we can develop a program like this, I have some further questions that I would love to talk about and see if we can make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. And I just want to say, this is a great committee. This past week, we found out we're going to have our first Canadian 4-H'er. And so I'm so excited to be to hear that we're sort of breaking into Canadian 4-H. And on my upcoming transport, we have a new 4-H'er and breeder coming online in Montana. So yay, we are spreading and, we have youth. And so I think this is a great committee, and you don't need to have children in your own home to participate. There's a number of ideas, so definitely tune into Happy Hour. So I'd like to thank all of our committee chairs and volunteers for their continued work for the community and the breed. Our strength and success are due to you. We continue to seek community involvement and volunteers. Collaboration and brainstorming have been the foundation of our success. If you want to volunteer or have ideas or questions, please contact the appropriate board member or committee chair. No, that's not right. Oh, here it is. Sorry. So I wanted to talk a little bit about sort of looking to the future. And I've been honored to serve as the president of the San Clemente Island Goat Breeders Association for the past 4.5 years. And every year I've gained new insights, learned new lessons, and seen our community and the San Clemente Island goat population grow. To continue our onward and upward movement as stewards in achieving a sustainable population of SCIs in perpetuity, I'm asking the board and the community to support 2 initiatives moving forward. First, I'd like to see the transition of the breed narrative from critically endangered lawn ornaments, as one of our members affectionately refers to our herd, to a multi-purpose breed necessary to ensure future agrobiodiversity and food security. SCIs have traits and unique genetics which can make them highly sought after in the goat community at large. This is a narrative that can serve the breed well into the future as they move up and off the Livestock Conservancy's and Heritage Livestock Canada's lists. As you heard from the marketing committee, they'll be focusing on this very topic. But you as breeders can help simply by working to change your narrative and contributing to the statistical database once it goes live. Also, to further this endeavor, I've enlisted the help of volunteers to create 2 proposals for the board and the membership to vote on. First, a genetic strategic plan, a roadmap to ensure the breed's genetic diversity is safeguarded. This proposal will look at which goats need to be genetically banked and the population dynamics to see what initiatives are still needed to be implemented to secure the genetics for future stewards and against potential disasters. Across the Arab Health Breeders Association is being own the section functioning so they and need a growing non-goat owner. So national funding partnership allow SCI to expand services to members, research programs.
Sarah, your audio's cutting out.
I'm sorry, the computer shifted and I logged myself out. I was going to say, where was I? We'll be seeking accreditation through the Livestock Conservancy once they start accepting applications. This process will ensure the SCIGBA meets the professional standards set by the Conservancy. I've also started attending nonprofit professional development classes with the Nonprofit Leadership Lab to learn more about fundraising, grant writing, nonprofit professional standards, and overall optimal operations. And I will say these classes have been really eye-opening, allowing me to sort of see options outside the traditional breed association box. And I'm looking forward to applying some of those next year to the SCIGBA. I'm genuinely excited about the future of the association, our community, and our herds. And I hope each of you will continue the journey with us as we secure a notable place for San Clemente Island goats and the goat community at large. The annual meeting, hold on a second, I need to go back to screen share. The annual meeting represents transitions, new committee chairs, volunteers, and board members. Today, we thank Treasurer Terry for his tireless dedication and commitment to the SCIGBA as he leaves the board. There are not enough words to express my personal gratitude for his work, and his contributions have been invaluable. This year, we had no contested races, so a formal ballot was not necessary as per our bylaws. Director Lisa Leonard will be starting her second term, and Laurel Sherry will be moving from the position of Vice President to Director. Unfortunately, there were no nominations for Vice President, Treasurer, or the one-year Director position. They will be filled at a later date according to the provisions in our bylaws. And if anybody's interested in stepping forward, Laura, let me know. Each year, we give out a series of awards. Salvador Ramirez was a shepherd who in 1875 brought goats to the island of San Clemente and thus started the history of our breed. Each year, the San Clemente Island Goat Breeders Association recognizes a volunteer who has given above and beyond to the breed and community. I'm sorry, I get tearful every year for this. This year, we recognize a breeder who has served as a mentor to new breeders, helped with advice, registrations, and encouraging them to join the SCIGBA. They've hosted some of our monthly SCI happy hours and been an overall advocate for San Clemente Island goats and our breeders. This year, Salvador Ramirez Volunteer of the Year goes to lifetime member Aaron Bai. Thank you, Aaron, so much for everything you've done for the association and the breed. We truly appreciate it. The Leslie Edmondson Board Member of the Year. Over 20 years ago, Leslie Edmondson stepped forward to start a revitalization in the SCI goat community. Population numbers had dropped to approximately 200 goats, and many breeders were left as islands unto themselves. Leslie started to gather history and breeders under a single umbrella. Today, the SCIGBA continues this work. It would not be possible without our dedicated board members. Each year, the SCIGBA awards the Leslie Edmondson Board Member of the Year in honor of Leslie, who the community lost in 2017. It should be noted that this year's recipient is not only a lifetime member, but was the very first paid member of the San Clemente Island Goat Breeders Association and a close personal friend. This year, we'd like to recognize outgoing Treasurer Terry as the Leslie Edmondson Board Member of the Year. Excuse me. So, Laurel, would you like to do the next part, questions and answers, or comments and questions? Oh, hold on, let me unmute. I think I can unmute. Can you unmute, Laurel? No. What did I do wrong? Give me a second to figure out what I'm doing incorrectly. Really, I can. Oh, there it is. Oh, hold on. Hmm. I'm sorry, I was muted. Does anybody have any questions or comments before we adjourn? Well, if not, in conclusion, I ask each of you to consider lending your voice and time. If you're not already an SCIGBA Association member, please join. There's an impact in numbers. Attend events, participate on our online discussions to be part of the collaboration and brainstorming. Volunteer your time to help with projects. There are tasks for all skills and time commitments. Share the community's news on social media so we can continue to grow recognition of the breed. And I'd like to thank you each for attending our 2024 annual meeting. And that's it.